Hello, Oracles. Well, it is official. As many of you know, Elon has bought Twitter for $44 billion. So lots of little different details in there. Looks like he's got 51% and he's looking for about 49% to be taken over by other investors. And he did leverage some of his Tesla stock to be able to cover that. And no, this does not mean that Elon had to sell any of his shares for this purchase. So none of his shares were sold. We do not have to worry about that. Well, I'm sure most of you aren't surprised. Usually when Elon says he's going to do something, he does it. Sometimes it's not always within the time frame he states, but he usually comes through with what he says he's going to do. And so now we're looking forward to what the future means for Twitter. So he's probably going to take it private. This is what he said he is going to do. And we'll see where he takes it from here. I'm sure he already has a plan in place as far as how he's going to update the platform and move it forward. So we'll let the dust settle from this. I'm sure he will share details on what he plans for it in the future. But looking at the perspective that I'm looking at it from is he is doing this for the free speech purpose of democracy. So what I have seen for the feedback coming from many different sides of this situation, it really comes down to who do you believe Elon is? If you believe Elon is a good-hearted human being who is really truly looking out for the betterment of humanity, then you think this is a great thing because this is good for free speech. Other people who do not like Elon are against this because they feel that he is going to have a one-sided free speech in this situation. The way I'm viewing this is taking Elon out altogether. Other than the fact that he said he is going to have open source algorithms for people to see what is transpiring on the platform. That is, to me, the most free speech you can have. Because if you look at any other social media platform out there, Facebook, Instagram's not so much, but Facebook, YouTube even, you take a look at these platforms and the algorithms are constantly changing. And nobody really knows what goes into these algorithms, or why they've changed, or why certain things are not allowed to be said, or why some things are promoted. So to be able to have an open source, completely transparent algorithm, so everyone can see why some things are doing well, why other things are being shut down, that is very important, and to me, that is as much of a free speech environment as you can get. And as Elon said, when somebody you don't like says something you don't like, then that means that there is free speech out there because they are allowed to do that. And he did say that, his intentions are to do this, but obviously you have to keep it within the restraints of the law that the company is based in. So seeing as the company is based in the US, it will have to follow US laws. So if anybody is on there and they do something that would be breaking the law, then that would be shut down. But at the same time, you would still be able to get that open source, transparent interaction explaining why it was shut down without it just going away and no reasoning behind it. So for me, I like this because this is going to give what I feel is going to be true free speech. Now, we still have to see how this plays out. We have to make sure that this is going to go in that direction. But if this is the intended direction that we are going, I am all for it. And please share your thoughts in the comments. I mean, most of you who have been with me for a while know that I let everybody speak their mind in the comment sections of my videos. Unless you're going to be disrespectful, I'm not going to say anything, and I shut down spam bots, which do stink. But I like to let you guys speak your mind. We all have our own opinions, and we all have different ideas on where we can go. And, just back it up with some facts or some ideas and reasoning behind it. For me, the most important thing that I gather from all of you guys is, your ideas and the reasons behind it. Why? I'm always going to ask why. Why do you feel that way? Why do you come up with these conclusions? I would never tell you that you're right or wrong. I would just merely learn from you guys honestly, and then I can in turn, if I have an opposing view, I will take some time to research my own stuff to be able to come back and give you a good discussion to be able to debate a situation. This is good and healthy, and this is what it seems like we should be going towards for Twitter. Twitter has been very one-sided on a lot of things, So hopefully this can broaden that horizon so that you can have open discussions with people on there. Again, we do need to wait and see for this full thing to play out to see if this is the direction that we are actually going to go, but I do have faith that we will go there. And now when it comes to the company and the stock itself, I know many of you out there bought Twitter when Elon started talking about this, and some people sold out today when we got that last minute pop, and have many people turned that right over into Tesla, and I think that is brilliant. I did not do that. That is not anything I got into. I had the cash, I could have, but wasn't my thing. I didn't get into it, so I wasn't going to play that game, but congratulations to all of you who did. And so the rest of the stock market did do well today. We were green across all of the indices, and after the sell-off that we had last Thursday and Friday, it was nice to see a little bit green today. Tesla was in the red, barely in the red, but most of that was due to Twitter and that situation going on, and people's mixed feelings about Elon taking on Twitter between, is it going to distract him? Is his leverage that he put towards Twitter from Tesla going to cause problems if Twitter tanks? Lots of different scenarios that brought it down, but not a big deal for Tesla. And if anything, it's going to be a short-term buying opportunity. Now, over the next week or so, we are going to have a bunch of big tech earnings that are coming out, so we can see some ups and downs and fluctuations in the market. And then next week, we are going to have the FOMC meeting. And with the FOMC meeting, I'm not sure how it's going to play out. I'm believing right now that we have priced in a 50 basis point hike. So we may still see some uncertainty and a sell-off going into this, but the more important information we're going to get out of this is going to come following this on May 11th, where we get the CPI data. Because the CPI data that we get in May is going to be covering all of April. And that is going to let us know and give us an indication as to what we could potentially see for rates going up in June, because that's the moment where we may see another big dip coming. Now, talking to Abhishek in the comments, he had mentioned that a lot of times we have seen that the U.S. interest rates kind of are following the Canadian ones. He's up in Canada, and Canada just did a 50 basis point hike and a 75 basis point hike. So could we see a 75 basis point hike coming in June? Again, we still have yet to see this play out, so we need to see how it's going, but I think the CPI data that we get in May is going to give us a good indicator as to what may happen in June. But we still do have the June CPI data that comes out before the June 15th FOMC meeting. So right now we're so much on a seesaw up and down and can really go in any direction. So I'm not going to say we're going to tank, but I also don't think we're going to run. So lots of up and downs. I think we're just going to see some ups and downs and probably more uncertainty than certainty in the market, and that's going to lead us to more red. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's truly going to happen, but I think we're going to see some more red as the next month plays out. And so for me, I still have about 13% cash on hand. I added a little bit more to Tesla today. My strategy, I will be adding $10 for every percent we drop through the 900s if we continue to drop. And then if we do go below 900, I will start adding $15 for every percent that we drop. And if we go up, that's awesome. I will just continue to add my $15 every day and enjoy the ride. And when it comes to other stocks, I think there's a lot of great buys that are out there. And so still at this point right now, I wouldn't just dump all in on any stocks that I'm looking for, but definitely a good opportunity to add little bits here and there for anything that you like. For instance, AMD is down under $90. That to me is an awesome buy. Disney is going through some stuff going on in Florida, but they will get through this, and they're looking at a great price around $120 right now. So lots of different great stocks that are out there. Nvidia was dipping pretty low. What other stocks are out there? Google was down a little bit. So just taking a look at all of the different opportunities that are out there. Take a look. If you're not an all-in on Tesla type of investor, there's a lot of good opportunities out there to buy little bits here and there, and I think you'll get some more opportunities over the next month to continue to add to these. Now, tomorrow morning, I'm going to dive into Tesla and the technical charts a little bit. I know some of you don't believe in the technical analysis, but others do, and it's something that I do follow as part of what I track in the stocks. I think technical analysis and sentiment and overall macro environment news kind of all work hand in hand with each other to kind of come up with a good formula and plan as to where I think the stock is going to go in the future. So I'll go over some technical analysis for Tesla in the morning to discuss where we are at for those things. Otherwise, let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about the whole Twitter situation and what you're looking forward to the most with Elon taking over. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. Thank you so much. Have a great one.